Hey, what's up, DIYers? Mike Bors with the Mike Bors channel. Thank you for watching. We literally just took delivery of our brand new GE electric version, not gas, but electric version laundry center. In today's video, we're going to show you how to properly and safely install it, hook everything up, and get it running. Let's get started. Making our way to the area where we have our laundry center, and yes, we have two of them. On the left-hand side, the old one, it's about 10 years old. It still works, it still runs. And we did not purchase the option of having them take it and recycle it. And on the right hand side, we have our new one, delivered about an hour ago. And the reason why we kept this old one, again, it still works. However, we want to make a bunch of helpful DIY repair videos for all of you, the DIY community, and we are going to do that, we promise. However, again, just took delivery of the new one. We are going to show you how to properly hook everything up and shift it back into the enclosure and get it working. And we are going to start with the power cord first. And in our case, we have a gray power cord, and there's the old one removed from the old machine, and here is a new one. This is a 4-prong, and if you're wondering if you have a black cord or gray cord, the black one has 4 prongs, the gray one has 3. We are first going to clean the enclosure area, followed by installing the brand new power cord. That is the box or cardboard inside the new unit to ensure that the washer bowl doesn't aggressively shake or move during transport. And again, old unit, and power cord disconnected from that area, and old dryer duct. However, again, we are going to clean the enclosure inside here, and there's our water shutoff valve, and just clean it up, vacuum it. And there is our dryer chute that the dryer duct or exhaust connects to. And there is the 3-prong 240 outlet. We just recently removed our old power cord. We are not going to install that, but we did want to make a video on how to properly and safely remove it and uninstall it, and that's where it connects to. However, again, let's continue. We are going to set the camera up and install our brand new power cord. It is strongly encouraged and recommended never to use an old power cord off an old appliance on a new one. Not good. And go inside here and remove the cover panel to the electrical area. Camera now position, and again, we are going to remove this, and you'll notice that screw or bolt is not machine cut for a flathead or Phillip. It is a 1/4 inch size, so I'm going to use my little 1/4 inch socket adapter to the screwdriver. However, coming down to the left, you see a green and yellow wire. That is our ground wire. In addition, referencing the warning sticker on our new appliance, there is the instructions on how to properly and safely secure the wires, and we will show you that here shortly. First, let's go ahead and remove this 1/4 inch screw. And shift it forward and out. And very similar to our old one, red hot on top, white neutral in the middle. The only difference is the bottom one. However, it still was a black hot wire, but it fed into a blue connection point. However, that will make no difference during this project. From here, we are going to unscrew all of these to prepare it for install. To different camera angle, I'm going to start with the top red hot, and that is pretty loose, no big deal. We'll tighten it during the install. And it really helps or pays off to have a magnetic bit, as shown there. Next, I'm going to remove the lower hot or black wire, followed by the center white neutral. Next, I want to show you the green ground screw, as you see, and it is secured to that inner panel. And there is a gold colored lead that feeds over to the left and up and mates with that inner neutral connection point. Back to the brand new and old power cords, new on the left hand side. We will basically unpackage it or unwrap it, get it ready for install. Camera now in position, and DIYers, this is a brand new unit for us, so we have read the warning label or information, and I encourage you to do the same. However, coming up with the power cord, I want to direct our attention to the 3 electrical connections, and for presentation purposes, you can see they look nice and clean. Let me flip them to the opposite side, and you can see the opposite end is where the connection points are crimped onto the wires. For presentation purposes, I'm going to feed them in this way. And as you do that, just do your absolute best not to damage anything. I am going to shift them in their respective areas. and align the screw holes or bolt holes, and I'm going to secure the white neutral first. And I will come in by hand and align the screw. Do your absolute best not to cross thread them. That would not be good. These should go in extremely easy. And if they don't, back them out and reset the thread and continue turning clockwise. And that one's a little offset, so counterclockwise, reset the thread, and in. Much better. And from here, I'm going to change camera angles. Now to a different camera angle, and again, I just wanted to give you a better view of securing these screws and connection points. Do not over tighten them, but you want them snug, obviously. You definitely don't want them loose, but you don't want to strip it by over tightening it. That would be terrible. Next, down to the bottom double black wire, which again is a hot, and same thing, without cross threading the connections, align it and secure it. And followed by the upper red hot. And I am moving the power cord with my left hand and giving this side of the cord, or this area and connection point, a little bit of slack to ensure again that I'm not cross threading this connection screw in place. And one last double check of everything, and all looks good. Again, do not over tighten them. In addition, just ensure that these connection points, again, upper red is hot, that's in, and they feed onto a little aluminum prong. The center neutral is secured, and the bottom double black hot is secured. From here, just double check everything, and if all looks good, which in our case it does, we're going to re-secure the cover panel. And I'm going to come in with the two prongs here into those little slots there, followed by securing the screw on the opposite end, and I'll move the camera. And I'm going to hand tighten it first, just to ensure I don't drop it. And again, in our case, 1/4 inch screw head, and same as the others, do not over tighten this, but you want it snug. You don't want it rattling while the washer and dryer are up and running. And the hours, just double check everything, and if all looks good, we're all done in this exact location. Coming out and up, and again, brand new power cord, freshly installed and secured properly and safely. And the old one again to the right. DIYers, do not ever install the old power cord from an old appliance to a new appliance. That is extremely frowned upon, never recommended. However, moving on, we're now going to install the water lines to the water inlet. Making our way back to the front of the laundry centers, and just a heads up real quick, I did have them place it on the pad as shown there, and the unit is so much easier to move. And we are now going to again install the brand new water lines. As you see here, down below in the comments and description will be a link on where to purchase these, as well as the new clamps and dryer duct or hose. And ensure that your rubber gaskets or seals are in there. Making our way back inside the enclosure and to the water shutoff valve, as you see. And very important, you want to ensure that you connect the red or hot hose to the warm water supply, and color coded. Red on the left for hot, blue on the right for cold. And when it comes time to install them here, we have an H for hot and a C for cold, as you see. How cool is that? In our case, hot on the left. We're back looking at the water inlet valve, and again, the H on the left, the C on the right, hot and cold. Hot intake, cold intake. I'm going to install the red coated water line first to the hot. And as you install this, just again, ensure that your inner seal is properly seated, not offset, not crimped, and not damaged. And press it in place carefully. And I'm going to come in, and without cross threading these on, go ahead and hand tighten them. And they should go on very easily until it gets to the tension point, and tighten it by hand. Don't aggressively pull on it because you don't want to damage the inlet. However, get it tight and transfer it to this tool right here, which is down below in the comments and description. And without damaging the inlet connection here, grab a hold of it and turn it clockwise. And we are properly seating that rubber gasket to create a watertight seal. And move this as you do that. And if all looks good, we will do the same thing for the blue coated cold water line. However, one last tighten here. And that looks good. Same thing with the blue. Ensure that the inner seal is properly seated, not offset, not damaged, and same thing, come in from above. Do not cross thread this. If it's tight right from the get-go, go ahead and stop, turn it counterclockwise, reset the thread, and turn it clockwise to secure it. And double check everything. Coming out and down, again, a must-have tool for this project for that final adjustment on those fittings to create the watertight seal. And again, H on the left, C on the right, H for hot, the red coated or braided water line, and blue for cold. And the opposite end, time to install to the water shutoff valve. Camera in position, and again, do not cross thread the fittings. Ensure that the little gasket is inside there, not crimped, not offset, and carefully screw it on. And using the tool to give it that final adjustment for that watertight seal. Followed by the cold, same thing, rubber gasket or seal, properly seated, and align it without cross threading it and install it. And that final adjustment again for both hot and cold to create that final and secure watertight seal. Coming into a close-up view. And once the system is up and running, in other words, we are running a cycle, we will test or check or inspect all of the fittings to ensure no leaks. Back out in front of both of the laundry centers, and again, the brand new dryer hose and the brand new clamps. Some info, not sure if that will be helpful for you. Back behind our brand new laundry center, and I have unpackaged the brand new dryer hose. And you can actually move this for your best position. In our case, ours goes down and to that location. I'll get the camera in position. All right, DORs, get the camera in position. And again, you can move this. Be careful as you do it. It has sharp edges in most cases. And so does this, as you see. And some instructions will actually inform you that you need to extend this all the way out and separate it. However, that will be personal preference depending on your setup and the exact brand of duct or hose you purchase. However, I am going to open it up a little bit. Be very careful as you do this. No need to rush, go slow. You don't want to pull this and rip it right from the get-go. That would be terrible. And basically, I am pulling it out on this side because this is going to be the side I connect to this portion and secure it in place with that clamp. And as you can see, it looks as if it's getting to the end of extending it. There it is, and I've got this little part here. I'm going to basically fold that in as shown there. And that will not interfere with any lint because it's going to be on the outside. Go ahead and grab your clamp. In our case, 5/16 is the new size. And get it on at least 2 inches all the way on. Take a step back, and here we are at this point, as you see. And do not over tighten the clamp. You could puncture that hose very quickly. In addition, you want the hose pushed all the way on the fitting or duct and the clamp position where it bites the actual duct. In other words, you don't want to tighten the clamp and be able to pull the hose right off because it's not connected on the fitting or ductwork. And again, just be extra careful with this. Grab it here and extend it. And come up a little bit and extend it. Again, not pulling or putting any pressure up top on that connection. Coming up, and basically double check everything, because at this point we are going to begin shifting the entire laundry center back inside this enclosure, and we are going to feed the washing machine drain hose inside the drain plumbing and resecure or connect our brand new installed duct hose to the chute. One last important thing to point out, and that is the routing of the drain hose for the washing machine, as you see coming out. And in the event that you feed it through this portion, basically in between the panel and the ductwork, when it comes time to shift the entire appliance back inside the enclosure, you might not have the clearance. Basically, you might hit the wall with the dryer duct and end up pinching it or compressing it because the drain hose is in here, not giving that extra space for the ductwork to press or be shifted. And so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it come up, and it's a little extreme. It's not going to be above here. However, I'll take it out of here. And it is basically going to be inside that area right here and over, as shown here. And it's not going to touch the dryer duct, as shown there. Got the camera positioned, and as you do this, just go slow. Be careful. Do not dent or get anything pinched. We're talking dryer duct hose, water lines, power cord, and the drain hose. Go slow. And take breaks. Move it about 6 inches. Take a break, look behind the washing machine, and double check everything. And if all looks good, continue pushing. And again, having the laundry center on this drain pan makes it a lot easier to shift and move. To an update, making progress. A couple feet moved forward inside the enclosure, and I routed the power cord and drain hose up and into this area. And again, just keeping a close eye on the duct. Don't get it pinched, don't damage it. As well as to the right side, the water lines. Making progress. The entire laundry center is pushed into the enclosure. Double check everything, and if all looks good, time to connect the dryer duct or hose to the chute.
Alright DIYers, hey, a quick break in the action, and long story short, I am not a fan of this exact option of vent hose. I like the more flexible kind. However, down below in the comments and description will be both. We will have this brand, as well as the flexible option I will ultimately switch to after ordering it. In addition, as we move forward, we noticed that the 6-foot water lines are just too long. We're also going to order brand new 4-foot water lines with the 90-degree elbow fitting style connections, which are also down below in the comments and description, and we will show you that now.
Taking a step back, and DIYers, to an update, we have reached a roadblock, and that's why we make these videos. Hopefully we can show you our roadblock to alleviate you getting a roadblock. Unfortunately, those water lines are just too long, and they're new. They're really nice, but just too long. In addition, they don't have these nice little 90-degree angle elbow fittings. And I'm going to head to the hardware store, return these, purchase smaller or shorter water lines with that 90-degree elbow fitting on one side. Now to an update. What I did was just loosen and remove the water fittings and release the tension and route them and zip tie them together in an organized manner. Time to install the drain hose. Camera now in position, and again, the drain hose has a little stopper that's basically the stopping point or the furthest the engineering wants you to push the drain hose inside the plumbing, and it's not caught on anything, which is nice in the rear. Coming up and in, and carefully shift it down. Don't force it. If it gets stuck, just pull it back out and basically maneuver it in a way. Make sure it's not bound in the back. And let's take a closer view. As you see right there, that stopper is flush with the housing. And again, it's not caught on anything. Taking a step back in DIYers at this point, very important, double check everything, because the next thing we are going to do is plug the unit in, or laundry center in, to the 240 amp outlet and run a cycle. During that cycle, we will test for leaks. However, before we plug that in, come inside each of the washer and dryer and remove any items inside here. In our case, this cardboard. It might be easier to pull it from the rear, maybe not. And it's on the agitator, so just be careful. I'm going to use both hands. In addition, coming up to the dryer, do not turn the dryer on with your paperwork inside. Cardboard is removed, and it was tricky. Just don't damage the agitator. And what a upgrade in design over the 10 years. Check that out. A much more aggressive or well-engineered agitator compared to the old one. Let's take a look. Yep, big difference, right? Again, same model, just 10 years newer. What an upgrade. Wow, I like it. From here, we are going to ever so carefully plug the unit back in and route the power cord the way you want it, and up and secure it. And make sure it is all the way flush and mating with the connection or outlet. Taking a step back, and what I'm going to do is we're going to run a cycle. However, I am going to lower this and I am going to remove this center panel, and that is going to allow me to see the opposite side water line fittings to check for leaks during the cycle. Camera position, and again, we're just going to remove this center panel and 2 Phillips screws. Do your absolute best not to scratch your new unit. And these screws themselves got a little rubber band on them and washer. And you will have to shift this up and out. There it is. Go ahead and carefully remove that, set it in a safe location. In DIYers, we have much better access to the internal electrical wiring and the control board, but more importantly, the opposite end water fittings and water lines. Camera now in position, looking at the shutoff valve, and this is step number 1 in checking the leaks. Before we even attempt a cycle, we are going to turn the shutoff valve to the open or on position and allow water flow through the new water lines at this exact location, and water will feed all the way to the water inlet inside the washing machine and stop. And again, we will check for leaks at both fittings. And I'm going to let this sit for about 5 to 10 minutes. And again, if no leaks, we'll move forward with a cycle. However, if there are leaks, maybe even just a drip of water, we will address it. And in most cases, you'll just need to tighten it a tiny bit. Coming out and inside the washing machine and directing our attention to the opposite side of the water lines or fittings where they secure to the water inlet. And again, just verify no leaks, because right now, water has been allowed to travel into the new water lines and stop at this exact location. So basically just feel around for any leaks. We're looking for dry fittings. We're gonna wait about maybe 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes, no drips or leaks, we will run a cycle. DIYers, we're back with you. It's been 10 minutes, and good news, no leaks at any of the 4 connection points. 2 up there, 2 in there. Time to perform a cycle, and we are going to run on warm because that is going to allow both hot and cold water to be fed into the system. And we did just that. We have begun the cycle, and again, checking all the fittings for water leaks throughout the entire cycle. And again, there's the water inlet for complete opposite side as that right there. No leaks, that's good. However, again, we will monitor. To a 5-minute update, and we are coming inside here. We are filling up. And so far so good, no leaks. And we are in the wash cycle. Sneak peek at the control board. We're now in the drain process, and the lid is locked. And again, just to ensure that the drain hose is properly seated where it's not attacking the panel or spraying water in this area. So you need to clean that enclosure. You'll definitely do that. To another update, making progress. We are now in the rinse portion of the cycle, as you see. And again, checking for leaks. So far, so good on all 4 fittings. First cycle complete, and all went well, no leaks, and the first cycle officially on the dryer. I've got the towels up top, and I'll close that. And what we're looking for here, I'll just maybe run a 30-minute cycle here. As shown there, start. And just double check that the dryer hose is not coming off, and you don't see any wind flying and gathering in that area over the next day or 2. If it is, well, you've got a loose connection or a hole. And we're going to run several loads over the next couple days. DIYers, we are back with you with a 3-day update, and we have run several cycles, not only in the washing machine, but the dryer, and at the same time, a full load in the washing machine and a full load in the dryer, non-stop. And all as well, it has gained our trust, no leaks, and everything is working as designed. I've re-secured that panel. We hope this helps. Hey, do us a favor, below the video, you will see that thumbs up icon. Click on that, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Definitely ring your YouTube bell. That'd be very helpful to us. We'd really appreciate it. Thanks again for watching.